Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. After today, I won't be doing the exploration as well, but today I am doing the exploration immediately afterwards. But I want to break down these nodes and kind of put this content out there for anyone who might be looking for any tips or tricks. I want to say, starting off here, that this isn't like an all-inclusive tips and tricks guide. I'm just kind of breaking down the nodes and what interactions you have to worry about, as well as throwing out some options there, because I imagine what they'll do is they'll do Fantastic and Doom Invasions. We'll have one set of nodes for 2 days, and then we'll have essentially 14 different rotations. And if not, then hey, this is the only one of these videos that'll be out like that, or maybe tomorrow the nodes are different and we'll have another video tomorrow as well. But essentially, I want to just put out kind of like a good starting ground for the community, and then people can fill the comments with any additional counters or ways to deal with these nodes that I don't list, and then we can work together to make sure that everybody's able to clear this content, especially those who may not have like the highly diverse 5-star rosters that just clear through this content. So that said, this first path here, this left path, is Mighty Charge, Bubble Shield, Aggression, Fury. So essentially this is frustrating because the Bubble Shield works well with the Mighty Charge, so you can't really intercept for the most part, and if you try to do like parry to get that stun active, that's 2 blocks, and so that means essentially 5 rotations of that, and you're gonna have to deal with an unblockable attack, which can be quite frustrating, as well as the Aggression Fury. Now, Aggression Fury means you're gonna be taking a lot of block damage if you're not hitting them aggressively. So generally speaking, a good way to handle things like Aggression Fury are power control or power locks, etc. Off the bat, I think my initial reaction here is to say you're going to want to bring Quake, Ghost. Those are always good champions. That's what I'll be doing, but other good options are like Spider-Gwen or She-Hulk, who can both make it so the unstoppable is irrelevant. Any other champion who can prevent that unstoppable as well. Anyone with a perfect block chance, and then you only have to really worry about the bubble shield. So any of the Captain Americas is a good option here. And so those are just kind of like my initial instincts here and how I would handle that node. So the thing to be mindful of here is, one, you're going to be taking a lot of block damage, so mitigating that in any way you can, playing aggressive or power locking to make it so Aggression Fury is null and void, and then just being mindful of the bubble shield clock, where 10 blocks makes the next one unblockable. So, after you've blocked 10 times, just make sure you dex backwards to kind of prevent any kind of unblockable interaction there. Next up is this middle path here. So you have protection shielding, where damage is capped at 3% and it shuts down for 5 seconds. And then debilitate's not a big deal, but the freezer burn is that incinerate debuff. So essentially here, you're going to want to bring, again, Ghost or Quake. Those are your answers to everything. But beyond that, you have essentially any of the Incinerate champions that you would have used against the Mephisto in the last quest, or anyone who could shrug debuffs also will work here. So proper Incinerate immune champions, such as like an Awakened Red Hulk, Void, Havoc, Night Thrasher, I believe, is Incinerate immune. Hulk Ragnarok can potentially work for this if you do him properly. And then also anyone with like a incredibly high damage output, as long as you're not hitting into the opponent's block. And no matter what, even if you're bringing an Incinerate immune champion, make sure that you don't hit into the opponent's block unless you are also Cold Snap immune, because you will get that Cold Snap debuff every time you do that. I think Captain Marvel is a good one here with that invulnerability. Iceman is a good champion here. Emma Frost. These are just some options. And then besides that, you can just play this fight normally. Just be mindful of the protection shielding. That will really only come into play if you're like trying to end the fight on a special. You do have to be mindful of potentially losing a lot of damage. But for the most part, as long as you bring an Incinerate immune champion, you can play this fight pretty standard. I guess we're going right first. Finally, this last linked node here, and then we'll run over the boss, is Pilfer Regeneration. So, don't bring anyone who can regenerate. And Cornered, just don't be applying debuffs to your opponents, and it's not a problem. Specifically damage over time debuffs. So anyone that applies a dot is someone you're not going to want to bring here. And then Aspect of Evolution. This is definitely by far the easiest path today. So, if you're going for just that initial completion run, go ahead and do that. Easiest path minus the champions that just so happen to be on mine. And I did notice when I did the master difficulty of this that some of the champions do change. So if you are aiming for an exploration and you're like, man, that one path is totally stacked, you know, feel free to try the other paths and hope you get lucky. I don't know how they're doing the champion changes, but I think it's these first 9 here. Ignoring the 3 linked ones. I think these 9 are subject to change and the back 3 are locked in place. But if I get more information on that, or if anyone else has more information on that, feel free to share. And then finally is this boss, which is immune to ability accuracy reduction, EMP modification, and spite. So with spite, just remember that every time you trigger dexterity, that does trigger spite. So power control champions are going to be good here if you can. Otherwise, champions that don't trigger spite, you know, I believe Ghost, Quake, those are good options as always. But again, any, you know, standard champions like Star-Lord, I believe Hulk Ragnarok before the 20% trigger where you get like either the Fury or the Regeneration is good. You know, Havoc will be good here as well. You know, just naming champions that stick to that you know, like the similar paths that you're already dealing with. And then finally, EMP modification is whenever the attacker gains a buff, the defender gains an overclock charge, max 10. For each charge, the defender deals additional energy damage, and their special attacks convert all passive shocks, converts all charges into passive shocks. So essentially here, you know, that's just interacting with the spite node. So yeah, the shocks are going to deal damage to you. There's not much you can do short of power locking this guy out, but besides when it's going to be Dr. Doom, for the most part, you are just going to try to powerhouse him down, or, you know, Ghost or Quake him for the most part. That said, I am going to do an exploration today. I don't plan on doing explorations every day unless people really want to see it, in which case, you know, hey, I will. And if you're someone who's like, no, Jay, I really, really, really want to see you do an exploration every day, even though it's going to be the same content, hey, feel free to let me know in the comments, because it's not much harder for me to record the content. It's just a matter of actually sitting down and recording it. And I generally try to keep my content from being like super duplicative. Duplicative? I try not to duplicate my own content too much if I can, because I realize that can get dull. And it does take a minor amount of effort to record in front of a screen like this. But hey, if you really want to see it, because maybe you want to see how someone handles the pads, you know, feel free to let me know, and I would be happy to oblige. That said, it looks like my game froze. There we go. So this is a Mordo. I hate Mordo. It's a cornered Mordo. The only thing good about the Ghost versus Mordo matchup is that as long as you have a precision buff active from the phase, he can't evade you. So you can actually properly parry this guy as long as you have that precision buff. But it is frustrating because he can block unblockable special attacks. So if you don't do it right, he can actually block the unblockable from the Wasp trigger, as long as he's been holding the block for like, I want to say like 0.5 seconds. So if you are going to go for it, make sure that you trigger the dash back special 2 on a medium hit. So you go like light, medium, and then trigger it, because the extra duration of the medium, keeping him kind of like semi, not staggered as in the debuff, but staggered as like the actual word staggered, will give you a window to kind of like hit through him. Here we go. Come on. And I am running the Wasp synergy, just because the higher difficulty of these guys, I don't want to be playing around with like special 2 intercepts. And I don't think the extra roster slot is actually going to help me out all that much. So I am running Wasp synergy in this regard. I hate Domino. Okay, hold on. I need to focus here. Damn, I do that every time. Whew. So frustrating thing about Domino is that she can actually cause Ghost's phase to critically fail. So you go for that special 2, and sometimes it doesn't work properly. The best technically the best way around that is to one, run Wasp Synergy, because sometimes you just get lucky, but two is to actually always make sure that you try to go for a special to intercept. So whenever Doom nullifies a power gain, it is already shocked. They have a chance to make Doom. Can't trigger. Special 1 triggers. First attack steals. Alright, let's go. First time fighting Doom. I kind of have a rough idea of what he does, but not the best idea, to be honest. Like, I don't really know. Why is he passively generating? Oh, the Fury buffs. I'm an idiot. And then the Precision Cruelty. Okay, so I really gotta dodge that first one. And then he's gonna trigger that damn unblockable heavy attack. Alright, let's try this again. Ghost is probably a really bad matchup for Doom, is what I'm thinking here. Huh? How am I supposed to see? Tips and tricks, ladies and gents. Practice. Like, go up against this Dr. Doom and actually practice first without jumping in. There's probably already like 30 in the top 100 who have this guy max sigged already. Don't be like me. I feel like I was close. It's a really big delay, but I think I can time that. Damn. 32%. That's not the worst. I might end up using a revive on this Doom, to be honest. I'm just not trying to sit here all day. And for the sake of the video, I'm not trying to start over. At least he can be bled. I'm like a half second too slow. Got him. Whew, no revives that time around. Okay, that is path 3, technically. We're going to jump in and do a replay. Try to get this exploration done. Let's see, did anyone change? Yeah, we're going to take this far left path. Try to avoid that electro. I could tag out for Omega Red, but I'm just not going to. This is Mighty Charge, Bubble Shield, Aggression, Fury. Again, Quake, Ghost, those are going to be like your best friends here. So that's what we're going to use. Man, what is this passive AI? Killing me, man. Okay, let's try that again. Ghost, I stand by Ghost is your best friend here, but I couldn't get that guy to swing twice. Let's try that again. Not trying to be dipping in and out of here over and over again, but that was some really, really passive AI. And I couldn't manage to reset the aggression. So what happened there was, even though I went for the parry, he probably had like 20 aggression furies up, so we got to keep him aggressive here. There we go. Round 1. So the thing about Mighty Charge and Ghost is that if you attack him too fast after the dash in, the Unstoppable will give him a window to strike you back. And it makes for a really bad time. So when you go to punish, you need to either wait for the second hit or wait just long enough that your attack still kind of causes him to pause. The other option is to stay right next to them, like hit into their block, and get them to do like a light attack so you can parry properly. And then you want to punish every single special one. There we go. Ooh, yeah, that first one was a fluke. The other nice thing about this, I think the biggest tip I can give anybody in this is, one, go hammer out the master difficulty, because the nodes are the same on master as they are on epic. So get the master difficulty down. It'll be a little more forgiving, and you'll be able to get through the paths and get used to the nodes a little bit, and then jump into the into the epic. And then just remember that this quest is 1 energy, right? So don't get hung up on dying, and don't be afraid to restart. Yeah, it's a little more time consuming, but just remember that the rewards are like really, really good this time around. So you know, just remember that it's worth it, right? When you're popping 1,500 5-star shards just for an exploration, for clearing through what, 18 fights? Not even 18 fights. What's it? It's 4, 5, 15 fights. You know, 1,500 5-star shards for 15 fights. You know, that's 100 5-star shards per fight. So don't be afraid to pop some energy refills, to restart, hang out a little bit. I mean, it's really a good time. So, you know, just remember to keep your head up and practice, and try not to let yourself get too frustrated. I mistimed that poorly. Gotcha. Okay. So I think against Doom here... Oh, this is a Namor. Man, I was kind of looking forward to some more practice. Namor should be easy. Oh, they're passive shocks. That's frustrating. I'm dead here. I was hung up on the fact that they're passive shocks. I did not know that. So Ghost versus Emp Modification. Not the, like, absolute best response here, but still probably doable. So I wonder if it's going to alternate between like Namor and Doctor Doom, or if they've got like predetermined 3-set bosses here. There we go. Path 2 complete. We're going to jump in and knock out Path 3 here. And then if you're still watching, I am going to have a exploration done of uncollected difficulty with 4 stars only. I'm going to try to hammer that out tonight and get it up tomorrow morning. But you know, hey, the content comes out as soon as I can chump it out. I mean, I work long days. That's how it goes. There we go. And you actually don't have to have an Incinerate immune champion for this path. If you have just like the damage to blow through it, right? If you can just like hard crush through these 3 fights, then it really doesn't matter. But Incinerate immune is going to make it a lot more friendly. That is for sure. Against Magneto, you got to be careful. Make sure that when you go to dash back for that special intercept, that you actually hit phase. What I normally do is I like dash back and like I keep my thumb on it, and if I see it, I just instinctively touch it, the special being. And if I don't see the thing, then I just let myself continue dashing back. It takes a little bit of experience getting used to, but learning how to deal with Magneto with Ghost, I think, is incredibly useful, as it can make for a lot of good times. Carnage down. I'm going to open up a 5-star crystal as well. I'll do that on here. Might as well. What is this? You don't care. Bum, 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 bum. If you have a ghost and you don't know how to play her, learn. Let me tell you how much just content this champion absolutely wrecks through. What is up with this passive AI today? Driving me wild, man. Oh, that's a bad time. Thank you. Let's just special one this out. Alright. One more fight and we get a 5-star. That is what we want. Looking forward to it today. And it's Dr. Doom again. Okay. So Dr. Doom this time. Trying to properly dex that special. Let's see if we can't get at least one special 2 off here with Ghost. I think that's the goal. Give him that power flood. Oh, I'm an idiot. Ah, crap. I forgot that when you, first off, I thought I was going to push into a special 2 there and I didn't. Second, I forgot that when you special 1, you get 3 precision buffs, so you can't actually phase. Put me in a bad spot. I wasn't going to be able to phase that, fortunately. Nice little parry heavy here. Look at that. Don't even have to learn how to dodge. We get to just phase through it. Yeah, I need to read that real quick. I know it's like, I think the 3rd hit of a special, Doom becomes unstoppable and stun immune against the last hit of incoming special 1s and special 2s and heavy attacks. Got it. Only when Aura of Hazaroth is triggered. Well, that's fun. It's going to be a tough uncollected fight. I get the feeling. Alright, I'm having this much trouble against the standard daily. Let's... I wanted to get another try in practicing to dodge that. I dodged the initial part. I don't know if I dodged too late or maybe it's a double dodge, but I missed it. Either way, we are excited about these 1,000 5-star shards, and we are going to pop open a 5-star crystal here full of disappointment, like it always is. But 1 crystal here, that's a good time. We get another 5-star today. We'll get another 3 5-stars, I think, this month at least. Spin this out and see what we get. Come on, you know what I want, Kabam. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. None of that is being nice to me. Man, Vulture. That's rough. Well, can't win them all. And Vulture, you know, I'm not even going to pretend like Vulture's fun to play. But hey, I got a Vulture team. That's all I have for crystals. That is my video for the day, and I will talk to you guys all later.